First of all, I would really like to thank you, because I think it was a great conference, at least for us, and you were very patient with some of the, say, not so professionally organized stuff, like having speakers outside when they were supposed to be here. This happens, but I think it was cool to be here. We have decided this year for the first time that we have 3 different awards for Best Presentation, Best Poster, and Innovation. And the jury was the organizing team, which sits here in the front row. And it's now my pleasure to hand over the awards to the corresponding people. Unfortunately, I'm sure some of them left already, which makes it very hard to hand it over. So I will keep up the certificate, and maybe they are still here. So for the Best Presentation Award, that would be Aaron Richiger, who already left, right? That makes it hard to take the final picture, which is a pity. Okay, so let's try the next one. The Best Poster Award to Simon, Tilia, and Maurice. Okay. I think we make it next year. We make it at the beginning of the conference, even without knowing, because then the people are still there. And sorry. And the Innovation Award would go to the Transfer Learning for Surveys by Maurice and Pascal. And they're both not here. So this award ceremony is kind of annoying. So what do I do? Any suggestions? I mean, we will send it to them, of course, but it's a pity. We should have probably told them already.
Let's give them applause.
We give them applause. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for rescuing me. So what I would like to do, as I will always do it in the last session, is to ask you briefly to give us feedback what we could change for the next run of the SwissTex conference. I mean, there is a feedback form in the program booklet, and we appreciate if you fill it out for 2 reasons. One is that we would like to have feedback from you and improve. And we usually try to put it into practice in the next year. The second is that we are funded by the InnoSwiss agency, the Swiss government, and they request us to gather the feedback and give them the results of the feedback. And the funding depends a little bit on how the feedback looks like, probably. No, I'm not sure. Until now, they never reduced the funding. They always increased it over time. So the feedback was really great. So there is a correlation until now. So no, but honestly, I would appreciate if you have something that you think, well, that could be changed or that should be discussed, or well, you can also say it was great, but we will take notes, and I would appreciate if you give us some hints what we could improve for next year if we run the conference again. When, sorry, that's an Anglicism, because in German, when is translated to either when or if, so we will run the conference again, I promise, in some way. I mean, I have some reward certificates. I could also fake it and make it a best feedback reward now. No, honestly, is there anything? Manfred, you want to have a microphone?
No. In theory, there was a scientific track and a Swiss track.
Yeah.
In practice, I could not find them.
Okay, because this is complicated. This will take 10 minutes to explain how we do that. So in theory, yes. In practice, it is also. We said the submissions that go to the scientific track, they had a severe review from the scientific committee, and they will be published as full papers in the conference proceedings. Whereas in the Swiss track, there was a reduced review of only the abstract, and we were really open to accept if it is something interesting, and it doesn't have to be technically depth, doesn't have to have technical depth. So that was the idea of the different tracks. And in practice we said, well, even if you submit it to the Swiss track, it could be a topic which is to be presented as a talk, whereas some scientific track submissions were presented as posters, if it suits more, because we don't have so many tracks for talks. And so we mixed a little bit, and we didn't say this was a scientific submission and this was a Swiss track submission. But in the end, you will see it in the proceedings that there is a difference. Would you like to have it more distinguished in the...
It would be good to have to separate them in the schedule so that people know which track they have to choose.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that next year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe so. I attended a different conference in the States, like last November. What I really liked there is that for every speech, I had like a brief abstract on what it was about.
Yeah.
Maybe having something like this online. So I couldn't find it like before. So you know, kind of like before you get into the like before attending the speech, like the presentation of what it's more or less about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, we can do it, and usually we do it because we have this booklet and we have a PDF where all the abstracts are in, so we could upload it. We just forgot to do it, honestly. So that would have been there. We were also discussing whether we skip the printed booklet and have an app instead. Could we make a very quick vote? Would you like to have a printed booklet? Would you like to have an app? Okay. Half. That's great. So, the problem with the printed booklet is that it's very hard to change afterwards, whereas the app is, you always have to look at the smartphone. Mm-hmm. There was another one here.
I found it really hard to find the demos. I mean, with the posters you see immediately the titles, but for the demos I really had to look around to find exactly.
Oh, so we should have something that marks the demo screens. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's
posters for the demos as well. Like the demos could have posters associated
with, so having a wall and then in front the table and then the title of the demo. That's a good idea. Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Maybe bigger computer screens for the demos. Sometimes it was just a tablet.
Yeah, we told the people to bring their own monitors. We can try to provide them, but bringing here 15 screens is, yeah, we have to figure out something like that. Okay. Was it too small? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
I think the keynote speakers were amazing, all of them, but at the same time, I think the difference between the quality of these presentations compared to the rest of the presentations, let's say the gap was big from my point of view. I don't know exactly, this has to do also with the audience. That is a little bit mixed with practitioners from the industry and also from the academia. So I don't know how or whether it is possible to bridge this gap.
So to have better quality of the presentations.
Or
Worth invited speakers. That's a good suggestion. Okay.
or maybe, as we said before, different tracks, and it made more sense.
Have more indication if it is a technical or...
Yeah.
Can I try to answer, or maybe offer a perspective?
Yeah.
I guess one of the reasons why we have the very good, extinguished invited speakers is that, I mean, the presence of NLP in Switzerland is still sort of in its maybe earlier stages, and so we want to raise this awareness and bring this maybe level, so to speak, up, and that even we're just, maybe many of us are just, quote, beginners, unquote, that we have something, good examples to look at, and that we know what kind of level of work that we can emulate. And so maybe gradually that the quality of local work would also be as that would meet your expectation. No?
Yeah, and on the other hand, I mean, it's hard to judge from a written abstract whether it will be an interesting talk or not. It's really, I don't know how to do that. If anybody has a good classifier for that, yeah. I mean, if you have an idea how we could do that. Sorry? The charisma. Oh, that's cool. We can apply it next year to the submission and then.
Yeah, I also wouldn't be so harsh towards other presentations. I think it's also some subjective judgment, whether they're good quality or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, before we say they're not good quality, I would run more aesthetic evaluation.
But I mean, it's true that there is a huge variety of presentations from very technical and in-depth to very high level. I have a nice idea for a product, and yeah, that's true. But even then, they write an abstract where they describe what the idea is, and either you go into details or you say just high level, this is my business idea. We cannot tell in advance, probably. Yeah, it's very hard.
A little add-on, I have been to many conferences, even global ones, in all countries. There are very bad presentations. So it's almost impossible. Yeah. And then you have to admit, people like you have experience to present. Mm-hmm. Students, doing their first presentation, they are nervous. Oh my God, so many people here. What shall I do? But will I make a mistake? They are nervous. It's kind of hard for them standing in front of the crowd and making a presentation. So giving them a big applause and helping them to become better is, I think, the better idea, and encouraging them to do it more.
Yeah. I mean, one thing could be that we exclude young people, but that would be I mean, honest. There are conferences where you have to have a certain level of seniority, and otherwise you are not accepted. So, but that would be very pretty, especially here in Switzerland, where we have many master students who do cool stuff and stuff like that. So.
Maybe the tracks idea that you mentioned before would be a better...
Well, if we do by, say, applied and scientific or, say, technical depth and some certain level, yes. I have been to conferences where there was also a junior track, and it was really annoying because it was the presenter, it was the conference chair, and maybe one further person, because nobody goes to the junior track. Sorry, yeah.
Given that we have such high quality keynote speakers, maybe to increase the time slot of them, like I would love to have more time to listen to your presentation, for instance, and given that they come such a long way, maybe to have it a bit more flexible, to have all the questions from the audience and get the content across.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So, I mean, if I give Mona 90 minutes, she will bring 200 more slides, and she will be, I mean, yes, we can do that if we give them, but if we give them 90 minutes, it will be a large block, or if we give them, I mean, 60 minutes was the average now, I think. And if we give them 90 minutes or something like that, then it's a very long time. And as I said, I'm honest, there is also the risk that the keynote speaker is not excellent. This year we were very lucky to have 3 excellent keynote speakers. And then you have 90 minutes where you say, oh. Yeah, okay. So we can think about that, but that is one person and talking. And I think the idea of the Swiss text is also to connect to other people and see what other people here in Switzerland are doing. And the keynote speakers are more like some input from outside. Yeah.
Mark,
so, yeah.
Maybe the way to approach it is instead of making our sessions 90 minutes, have separate sessions where, hey, go meet the keynote speaker. And so, you know, Mona has her extra 30 minutes and I have my, and that way only people who are interested in news or...
You mean after the presentation, yes, there is just as part of one of the sessions,
that way you're not making
and there's a question answering session with...
And then if it's a bad keynote speaker, nobody goes.
No, that's a cool idea. I mean, we can do that because...
It's a qualifier.
Yeah. No, that's a cool idea. Yeah. So a question answering session with a keynote speaker.
Separate. That way only those who are interested in the topic go, and you're not keeping the whole room for 90 minutes.
Very cool. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, because we do have breaks, right?
Yeah.
And all the other people who might be interested in different topics just have a break instead.
Yeah.
A coffee break, cigarette break, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, it's a cool idea. I mean, you can also do it in parallel to the sessions, to the tracks and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool.
I actually appreciate the diversification of speakers, even though it might sometimes seem to be trivial what people from the industry do or what solutions they have. They are probably not as trivial as they seem from the outside because they are geared towards solving a certain problem with a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. And yes, I also think that research is really cool, but also not every student has the privilege to remain in research. There are not enough funds to have everyone continue after a master's degree. And then you need to go out, and I think this is really cool because you see, okay, not everybody has so many GPUs to apply everything in this large scale. Sometimes it's just nice to have 5 rooms and so instead. So I appreciate it a lot, and I'm really grateful that this exists in this program.
Okay, thank you. Any other ideas that you have at the moment? And otherwise, we can discuss it at the apéro and whenever time after. So, as a final act, I would like to thank a couple of institutions, persons, and not more. So, first of all, once again, our sponsors, because this conference costs a little bit of money also, and it wouldn't have been possible. So, if you look at that, the top row are the main sponsors, which are supporting the conference, and then we have 2 rows of the, say, smaller sponsors, and in the bottom rows there are the academic partners or the media partners, which are helping us to organize everything, to spread the word and stuff like that. So it's really cool that we have so much support, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this. Especially you wouldn't know about the conference without having someone sending you an email or putting it on the website or putting it in a newsletter. So it's really cool to have all these partners. As I said, we have an organizing committee. We had a program committee with people who did the reviews, which was really cool because this year, I think, it worked pretty well with the reviews, pretty efficient, and we got good feedback. Now I have to look at my list who I have to thank. And we had the session chairs who were on short notice. On Monday evening, I think I told them that they have to chair a session, which is also, I'm very thankful for that. And of course, the workshop organizers. We have decided 2 years ago to have workshops, and I think it's a good thing because you can interact with more people and learn something very different, get a different perspective, instead of only listening to the talks. Do you agree that the workshops are good?
Yes,
okay.
When they are really workshops, then. Yeah. So the business, I think, was last
the
workshop.
The business NLP was, that's... We have discussed it already because in scientific conferences, a workshop is something like a mini conference within the main conference where you can easier submit a paper, but it's still just talks. And that was the NLP workshop this year. We already had some indications that there will be another one next year, and we might change the setting to be more interactive. It's not up to me, I'm not workshop organizer down here, but yeah, I think that's kind of a different name for different things.
So, Mark, actually, do you have tutorials? You never had tutorials?
We had a tutorial today on chatbot building, yesterday.
Oh, it came as a workshop?
Yeah, so maybe we have to rename it to tutorial. So giving the things proper names would be maybe, yeah. Okay. And finally, as I said already at the beginning, we have the organizing committee. That's a huge amount of people who are helping me, and I would like to ask you just to come to the front, such that all can see you for once, and we can give you the famous ZHW wine, which is from your own university. So come to the front. Pius. So to give you a brief idea what you have to do when you organize such a conference, you have to do marketing to make people aware of the conference. You have to have a website. Andrea is not here at the moment. You have to have someone who does all the printing stuff. You have to have someone who does the scientific review organization. We need someone who does the booklet and designs it and prints it, which is a lot of work. We need someone who prints these award certificates. I'm pretty annoyed that they are not here. And there's a lot of stuff. And I think we invested, I don't know how many hours of work in this conference, but it's a couple of hundreds of hours, honestly. So I would like really to thank you. And I got Valentin to hand over the bottles of wine because I know that's not so easy. Thank you very much for helping organizing this event. I hope you enjoyed it today and had also some time to enjoy the talks. And I think we give you once again a very warm applause. And you can remain here because I am done, unless you have something to say. I think I would like to thank you again for being here and wish you a nice evening. And now, this is my most favorite slide. This is when it's all over and I can start relaxing and meet you outside at the apéro. Thank you very much for being here.